In a world obsessed with scripted romance, Sigma males are tearing up the playbook. The dating game's a circus, clowns juggling validation, tightrope walkers dodging rejection, and ringmasters demanding your soul for a ticket. Sigmas aren't buying it, they're walking away heads high, unbothered by the applause they'll never chase. Why play a role when you can own the stage? Welcome to Sigma Male Community, where we ignite the fire of the lone wolf, the man who carves his path with unyielding strength and razor-sharp clarity. Today we're unraveling why Sigma males don't approach women anymore. It's not fear, it's not weakness, it's a rebellion against a system that's lost its damn mind. Get ready for a truth bomb that'll shake your core and fuel your independence. 1. The performance tax is too high. Modern dating's a grueling audition where you're handed a script. Smile here, flirt there, bare your soul on cue. Sigmas see it for what it is, an unpaid gig draining their spirit for a prize that's rarely real. The world demands rehearsed vulnerability and polished one-liners, but Sigmas don't bend their truth into bite-sized lies for someone else's comfort. They'd rather stand in their raw, unfiltered power than grovel for a nod of approval. Emotional labor's a currency they don't spend. Why waste it on a stage rigged for actors when they're the directors of their own lives? The quiet strength of self-mastery trumps the fleeting high of applause every time. This isn't about dodging connection, it's about rejecting the hustle of pretending. Sigmas know the cost of wearing a mask. Peace eroded, authenticity chipped away, all for a fleeting maybe. They've weighed the scales and found the game wanting. Picture a man who'd rather sharpen his mind in solitude than dance for a stranger's validation. That's the Sigma edge. It's a choice rooted in clarity. Real fulfillment doesn't come from bending to fit a mold. It comes from standing tall in your own truth, unshaken by the noise of a world begging for performers. 2. Charm is now a liability, not an asset. Charm used to open doors, now it's a loaded gun. A Sigma's natural wit or quiet confidence gets twisted, labeled as manipulation or dissected for ulterior motives. Imagine cracking a genuine smile only to be accused of running game, your authenticity turned into a courtroom exhibit. Sigmas refuse to dim their fire or sand down their edges just to dodge suspicion. They'll never trade their magnetic core for a sanitized shell. Why should they? In a culture that can't tell sincerity from strategy, they choose to step back, preserving their essence over playing defense. The world's paranoia flips a strength into a weakness, and Sigmas aren't here for it. They've got no patience for a minefield where every word's a tripwire, every gesture a potential misstep. Stoic resilience kicks in, they stay true even if it's misread. Think of a lion accused of plotting because he roars. He doesn't shrink, he walks away. That's the Sigma move. Disengage from the chaos not because they're wounded, but because they're too damn real for a game that punishes the genuine. Their charm's a gift they'll keep for those who can handle it. 3. Connection must flow, not be forced. Dating's become a science experiment. Timed texts, decoded emojis, and a checklist of right moves. Sigmas don't play that lab rat game. They crave the electric hum of a bond that clicks without a manual. Forcing rapport through calculated steps feels like choking on stale air. Why bother when real connection should flow like a river? They'd rather save their breath for a vibe that's effortless, a spark that doesn't need a playbook. Rational thinking guides them. Energy's precious and they won't waste it on a forced fit. Picture two currents meeting naturally, no dams, no strain, just power. That's what Sigmas seek. If it's a slog of second-guessing or walking on eggshells, they're out. Self-control means knowing when to hold back, not just from anger but from pointless effort. They've got no time for high-stakes haggling masked as romance. Step back and the world calls it cold, they call it smart. It's not about shutting down, it's about tuning into what's worth their fire. That's the Sigma way, wait for the real or roll solo. The digital masquerade is exhausting. Swipe left, swipe right. Sigmas see past the polished avatars and rehearsed bios. It's a parade of masks, not people, filtered faces and borrowed lines from the latest self-help guru. Trying to connect with the holograms like chasing smoke. It looks alive until you reach for it. Sigmas hunger for the unscripted, the messy, honest soul beneath the digital veneer. They're not here to decode a brand or romance a highlight reel. Solitude beats the grind of peeling back layers that might not even exist. This online circus wears you down, and Sigmas aren't signing up for exhaustion. They've got better things to build, minds, skills, legacies, than to waste on a ghost in the machine. Stoic clarity cuts through. Truth matters more than illusion. Imagine a warrior sifting through a battlefield of shadows for one real ally. Sigmas don't play that odds game. They'll stand alone, grounded in their own depth, until someone shows up raw and real. It's not retreat, it's a refusal to dance with phantoms. That's their strength. 5. Insecurity dressed as empowerment is a dead end. Sigmas can spot the trap a mile away, insecurity parading as standards, tests posing as strength. They respect the real deal, vulnerability with guts, but not the chaos of someone demanding they fix their wounds. It's an emotional sinkhole, reassurance on tap, drama as currency, and Sigmas aren't in the repair business. They're not cold, they're just not here to play savior to someone who'd rather drown than swim. Peace is their fortress, and they won't let it crumble for a mirage of empowerment. Self-mastery means knowing your limits, and Sigmas draw the line at babysitting egos. They seek equals, someone who's wrestled their demons, not flung them at others. Stoic resilience isn't about carrying extra weight, it's about traveling light. Imagine a man offering a hand, only to be dragged under by baggage he didn't pack. That's not partnership, it's punishment. Sigmas walk away not from weakness, but from a fierce commitment to their own calm. They'll connect when it's solid, not when it's a storm they're expected to tame. 6. Kindness is misread as currency. A Sigma's decency, say a warm word or steady presence, gets twisted into a down payment on romance. They act from principle, not as a barter chip, but the world's wired to see every move as a transaction. One minute it's he's sweet, the next it's he led me on when he doesn't escalate. It's a trap where integrity's punished, and Sigmas won't play punching bag to misinterpretation. They'd rather pull back than let their goodness be a weapon turned against them. Emotional control shines here. They stay steady even when the script flips. Navigating that mess is a full-time job, and Sigmas don't clock in for chaos. They're not here to justify their every breath to a jury of assumptions. Picture a craftsman forging steel, only to have it called a bribe. He stops swinging the hammer. That's the Sigma choice. Preserve their dignity over feeding a machine that can't tell kindness from coin. Stoic virtue doesn't bend to perception, it stands firm. They'll save their light for those who see it, not squander it on a world that demands receipts. 7. The validation casino is rigged. Likes, matches, DMs, it's a slot machine spitting out cheap thrills, and Sigmas aren't gambling. They see the trap. Trade your soul for a fleeting buzz, only to lose every time the house resets. Chasing that digital nod is a hamster wheel, endless, empty, and rigged against depth. Sigmas cash out, betting on their own worth instead. Peace beats the rush of a stranger's fleeting glance. They're not here to spin for scraps when they've already got the gold within. Stoic wisdom screams it. Real value doesn't flicker on a screen. Sigmas don't need the crowd's roar to stand tall, they've got their own pulse. Imagine a king bartering his crown for a beggar's clap. It's absurd, and they know it. The validation game's a con, draining authenticity for a prize that fades by morning. Sigmas build their empire elsewhere, quiet, unshaken, and free. That's not isolation, it's liberation. They've cracked the code and walked away winners. 8. The masculinity tightrope is a fool's game. Be bold but soft, strong but fragile. Modern masculinity's a circus act Sigmas won't perform. They reject the tightrope, refusing to twist their nature into a crowd-pleasing shape. Quiet power gets called aloof, steady confidence, arrogance. They wear the labels like medals, not chains. Why shrink or stretch to fit a script that shifts with every critic? Authenticity's their rock, and they stand on it, unmoved by the winds of expectation. The stage begs for jesters. Sigmas write their own story. Stoic alignment means living true, not balancing for applause. Picture a wolf dodging hoops to prove he's tame. He'd rather hunt alone. That's the Sigma spirit. They'll take the wild over the cage every time. It's not about defiance, it's about integrity. They don't approach because they don't audition, period. Their strength isn't for sale, and that's what makes them untouchable. 9. The void is already filled. Sigmas don't chase women to plug a hole, they're not leaking. They've faced the dark, built their core, and found peace in their own skin. Connection's a bonus, not a lifeline. They don't need a savior or a trophy to feel whole. Stoic self-sufficiency fuels them. They're complete, not waiting. Someone's looks or charm mean nothing without depth to match. They'll pass on shallow glitter for the real deal, or nothing at all. Hunger drives the desperate, Sigmas move from strength. They spot the masks of those dating to escape their own emptiness and sidestep that noise. Solitude's not a punishment, it's a throne. Imagine a man so full he only shares when it's mutual fire. That's the Sigma code. They don't approach from lack but from choice. Stoic calm whispers they're enough and they live it loud. That's power no one can touch. 10. The illusion has dissolved. The rose-colored glasses are off. Sigmas see dating for the rerun it is. The chase? A fantasy projected on a blank screen. The highs? Sugar rushes that crash fast. The magic? Just hidden flaws and fancy wrapping. Experience has burned away the hype, leaving cold, clear truth. They've played the game, learned the moves, and found it's a loop of letdowns. Stoic reason cuts through. Why rerun a show when you know the ending? They don't pine for the past, they evolve past it. The thrill's a ghost they've buried, replaced by the steady hum of their own path. Picture a vet walking off the field, not tired, just done with the drill. Sigmas don't chase shadows when they've got substance. It's not cynicism, it's clarity. They'd rather build in peace than bet on a mirage. That's the difference between surviving and thriving. 11. The rules are blurred, the stakes are high. Dating's a minefield now. One wrong step and you're cancelled, shamed, or screenshot into infamy. Rules shift daily. A joke's a crime, honesty's a risk. Sigmas value their sanity too much for that roulette. They're not here to tiptoe through a hypersensitive maze, guessing what's safe this week. Dignity's their shield, and they won't trade it for a roll of the dice. Stoic calm says protect your core. Sigmas do fiercely. The stakes tower over the payoff. Peace lost to chaos, privacy to exposure. They see the math and opt out. Imagine a chess master facing a board where pawns explode at random. He'd rather build his own game. That's the Sigma play, self-preservation over reckless gambles. They don't retreat, they rise above. Connection's fine but not at the cost of their soul. They'll wait for clarity or keep ruling their own kingdom. There it is, why Sigma males are ditching the dating game, not from defeat but from dominance. It's a power move, a middle finger to a system that demands their soul for scraps. Reflect on this. Are you wasting energy on a stage that's beneath you? Sigma male community's here to fuel your rebellion, your growth, your unshakable strength. If this hit you hard, smash that like button. Let's show the world we're not playing their game. Drop a comment. What's your breaking point with this madness? Share this with a brother who needs to wake up. If you're subscribed, turn on notifications. Don't miss the fire we're bringing next. You're not just a viewer, you're a warrior in a movement of independence and excellence. Stay sharp, stay sovereign. See you in the next one.